Welcome to Andy's Garage. I'm Andy Phillips. Today I'm going to show you how to replace the air filter on a Chevy Trailblazer. So let's go ahead and get started. To complete this, these are the only items that you'll need. You'll need obviously your air filter, and I will put down in the description the different product numbers, or part numbers actually, based on the different manufacturers like FRAM, SuperTech, things like that. That way you know which one to look for. And then just a Phillips screwdriver, and that's all you need. Now with the hood up, here on the left side, so on the passenger side, is where you have your air filter canister. So you have your intake there, your duct that goes into the throttle body, and it's held on by 4 Phillips screws. Let's get a close-up and I'll show you where those are located. And once we take those off, then you can slide this cover off and get to the filter. Approaching from the front, you have your fan here, your radiator, and here is your intake, and this is the housing where the air filter is inside of. So you have your 4 Phillips screws. You have one right here, and then if you come along this way, there's one right down in here, which unfortunately I can't see. Let me turn the light on so I can show you. There's the one tucked down in there. Then working our way up here to the top, you have this one up here, right near your reservoir tank for the coolant. And then coming onto this side, you have your 4th one right here. So those are the 4 Phillips screws that hold this on. Once we take those off, we can pop that up, and then we'll have our air filter in there. So let's remove that so we can get to the air filter. We went ahead and removed all the screws. So now we're going to work this off. And what you have here, this is your mass airflow sensor right here. And sometimes it's not a bad idea to loosen this, which I think I'm going to do. We're going to loosen this hose clamp, which is back here, so that way we can work this off, because I don't want to hit it. There's a harness here. I'll get a close-up. I think we're going to have to take that off. Here's the harness for the mass airflow sensor. We'll pull the safety clip out, and then we can slide this off here. Push the little clip, and then we should be able to just pull that off. There we go. Set that off to the side here, because what I don't want to have happen is get this caught on there. And we might be able to get it off without removing the hose clamp. If not, let's see. Pull it up here. Move that. All right, I think we're going to get it. Let me check. We're going to loosen this hose clamp, so we'll just take a flathead, loosen that. Here we go. Pull that off. That'll give us a little more clearance, because we're hitting here on this little metal tab, which is kind of getting in the way, and then you've got your other lines in here. You don't want to damage them. So let's pull this completely off. There we go. Now we should be able to lift it, because you want to lift it and push it that way in order to get it off. And here we go. And let's see. I think I'm going to take this hose clamp here off as well. Because your mass airflow sensor has this little screen on it. You don't want to damage that. It's very sensitive. So let's see if I can pull this off. Set that there. And if you want to see a video I did on how to clean your mass airflow sensor, you can check that out via the link above. I'll also have it down in the description. Let's Here we are. We'll remove that, set that off to the side. Now we'll have more clearance here to lift this up because we can pull it, slide it towards the driver's side as we're raising it, and that way it clears all of these lines and we have access to pull this out. All right, slide that out. And now we have access in here to the air filter itself. And then you also have this housing that it connects to. And we can remove this. And I'll get a close up here, but basically it's connected right here into the ductwork there, and you just pull it off, and then your filter comes off. This one's very dirty, definitely in need of being replaced. Set that there. Here it is. And then in here it's pretty dirty. I'm going to clean that out as well because we don't want junk getting into it. So we'll clean that out, and then we'll get our new filter, swap it out. And as you can see, all this dirt, I'm going to get a shop vac. We're going to clean all that out because we don't want that cycling through before we put the new filter in. Went ahead and vacuumed everything out, but I think what I'm going to do, because you can see this is very dirty, I'm going to clean it. You don't have to do that. However, I mean, if you've got air coming through, this is going into your intake, I'm just going to clean this out really good. So I'm just going to spray a little bit of Windex cleaner just to kind of loosen this junk up. And then I'm going to do just a plastic cleaner just to clean it real good. That way we have a nice clean airflow coming in here. You can see that looks a lot better. Everything has been cleaned out and wiped out real good. A lot of times when people do an air filter, me included, a lot of times you just grab it, you swap it out, and you're done. But it's always a good idea. Just check that whole intake area and that canister where the air filter is. A lot of times, like we saw here, different debris, leaves, and junk comes in there. You want to clear that out. Or in the case here, we had a lot of dust and buildup, dirt. Get that out of there, because what you don't want to have happen is have that stuff working its way into the throttle body and in through the intake. So now that we have it all cleaned out, now we can put the new air filter in, close everything up, and we know that everything is clean. The air coming in is clean, no dirt and debris. Here's the air filter we pulled out compared to the new one. You can see the difference, how this one's pure white. Look how dirty and dark gray that is. Even has some debris lodged in there. Let's go ahead and take a look on the inside. Look at that. Pure white, and look at this, all gray and dirty. The first thing that we want to do is we want to put this piece in here, which you have this little bump out that fits right in here, so it lays right like that. And then pretty much what happens here is you have your mass airflow sensor that connects here, and you use the hose clamp to lock it down here, and then your filter connects here on this end. So I went ahead and cleaned this off as well. This was all dirty, so we wiped that down real good. So we'll take our filter, and you want to put it on here, and it'll be a tight fit. Push it all the way, there we go, all the way until we get a nice solid fit. So now we can lay this in here, and you'll see the air filter lays nicely into this indentation right here. And then this connection here, as I just showed, drops right in place there. So when you've got it together, it fits in just like that. Down in here, we also have this intake attachment, which I also cleaned. You'll see it has this edge to it, which drops right into that groove, and we should have probably put that in first, but I'm going to go ahead and drop that in place also, and then we'll be able to put the canister on top of it. So we'll take this and just drop it right down here, and it'll fall right into that groove like that. So that's now in place. That's your air intake. So the air intake comes in there, works its way in here into this housing, goes through the filter, and then up here through the mass airflow sensor, through the duct into the throttle body. So that's how it goes together. So now we can put the lid on top of it. We have the lid ready to put on. I've cleaned that off as well. So we're going to drop that into place. Now remember, we're coming the opposite, so we're going to tuck it in here first to get underneath this tab and by the lines, work it in slowly to drop it into place. Want to make sure that you don't move this intake piece here because that's a separate piece and those can move. So we're going to go ahead and gently put that in. Once you get past these lines here, there we go. Make sure this didn't move, which it did not. So everything is good. So now we're going to go ahead and just tighten the screws all around it. And then we can then take the mass airflow sensor, connect it back up, tighten that hose clamp, and then we have this ring that connects here into the air intake. We'll tighten that up, reconnect the harness to the mass airflow sensor, and then we can go ahead and wrap this up. Take our mass airflow sensor. When you put it on, you want to make sure that the harness connection is pointing towards the oil cap there because that's where the harness is. So we'll get that in, work it like that. So you want it like in this angle here. Put this ring on it here. And then this can now drop here. Get it all connected like that. There we are. Want to make sure it slides completely over. That way you ensure it's a tight seal, which it is. We can tighten this one. Take the harness. And then we'll put the little safety clip back in. Everything is good to go. Everything is put back together. Canister is all nice and tight. Intake is good. We cleaned everything, replaced the filter. Mass airflow sensor was put back on. Everything is snug. Let's go ahead and fire it up. All right, well, everything looks good, sounds great. That pretty much wraps up this video on how to replace the air filter on your Chevy Trailblazer. I hope this video was informative for you. I hope it helped you out. Please send me any questions and comments you may have. As always, I appreciate all the support. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel as I'm constantly posting content. I'll see you next time.